Hello beautiful people, you are welcome to Naho Blessed Fashion. In today's video, we are going to be drafting this beautiful ashwabi dress I made for my beautiful customer. If you haven't joined this family, do well to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss on any tutorial. Our online beginners to intermediate class registration is still ongoing. This class is going for a discounted fee. You don't want to miss it. Send a WhatsApp message to this number on your screen for more information. To start, I fold my pattern into two. Make sure your pattern is on fold. I'm going to draw a straight line. It's going to serve as the shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, I'll mark the bust, which is 10 inches, and from the shoulder to under bust 13 inches, from the shoulder to the waist 16.5 inches, and then I'm going to come down from the waist with 5 inches, and that is going to serve as the length of the corset. So 10 inches bust point, 13 inches on the bust, 16.5 inches waist, and then I'm going to come down with 5 inches from the waistline. I'm going to draw a straight line, connect the points together. So this is my shoulder line, this is my bust line, this is my under bust, my waistline, and the, let's say, the hip line. It's not up to the hip line like I said earlier. I'm going to draw the basic neck width and neck depth of 3 inches. Now connect it just like this. You can use your cuff ruler, okay? I'll mark her shoulder measurements divided by 2. Her shoulder is 14, divided by 2 is 7 inches. Now I'll come down by 1 inch for shoulder slant. I'll connect it to the neck width just like this, okay? And then from the shoulder slant, I'm going to mark her armhole depth, which is 7 inches. The same measurement I use on the shoulder, 7 inches. I'll connect it and then extend this line just like this, and this is our chest line. I'm going to mark her nipple to nipple measurement. Her nipple measurement is 7.5 inches. I'll divide it by 2 and mark what I have here, okay? Then I'll create a straight line just like this. I mark this on the bust line and also on the full length of the corset. I'll mark a dart of 1 inch on both sides. If you are busty, you want to use more than 1 inch, okay? 1 inch and 1 inch, 1 inch here and 1 inch. So we are going to be using the same dart all the way to our under bust, okay? 1 inch on both sides. That means we are taking a dart of 2 inches. From the bust point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch, by half inch, sorry. I don't want the bust point to be too sharp, so come down by half inch and then connect it to the under bust dart, just like this. I'm going to divide what I have here by 2, and I'll connect it to the bust span measurements. That's the nipple to nipple measurement on the bust line, just like this. I'm going to come down by 6 inches. That's for the off shoulder side. We're doing the off shoulder side, okay? I'll come down by 6 inches. You can make it lower if you want, but please don't do more than 6 inches. It's going to be too high. I'm going to mark 0.75 on this side and then half inches on the side going to the center, okay? I'll divide what I have here by 2 and then mark her bust measurement, bust circumference, round bust measurement, divide by 4. Mark it here. I'm going to come out here by half inch and then connect it to the bust measurement. If you're following me on this channel, you should be used to this, okay? This is our front armhole. Then I'm going to connect this dart I marked here to the bust point. Okay, connect it just like this. All right, I'm going to go up by 2 inches from the bust line and then connect it to meet the darts on the 6 inches just like this, and I'll connect this side to meet the armhole just like this. You can decide to make it a cup corset, like you connect this to the underbust like this, and then this side you connect it just like this to the armhole, but it's optional. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm going to add my sewing allowance here. I have the bust measurements. I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance. Her waist measurement divided by 4 is 6.75, but I'm going to minus 0.2 to give it that extra stitch to snatch the waist a little. Okay, I'm going to mark the waist to the hip measurement, which is 9 inches. I like to mark it for guide. We are not using it. Okay, just going to guide us so we'll know how many inches we want. We're going to be marking on this line. So at the hip line, I'm going to mark her hip measurement divide by 4, and then I'm going to connect it to the waistline. This is just for guide. Okay, it's just for us to have the right measurement on this line. Okay, on this line. So this is it. I'm going to connect the chest line to the waistline just like this. So at the chest line, I already have my bust measurements and my sewing allowance of 1 inch. I'm going to replace the dart I have on that line, on that very line, not on the upper part, just this line. The dart I have there, I would like to replace it here. Okay, replace the dart you have there. At the waistline, I'm going to add 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'm going to replace the dart I have, which is 2 inches. Replace it here. On this line, you're going to add the sewing allowance of 1 inch. Okay, and then replace the dart you have here, which is 2 inches. And then I will connect it back to the waist. Like I said, that hip measurement we took was just for guide. As you can see, we are not using it. Connect the waist to the chest line just like this. Okay, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches from the bust point, from the bust line, 1.5 inches downwards. That is for our bust dart, and I'll connect it to the nipple to nipple measurement just like this. We are going to cover it. We are going to close it when we cut it out. Please like this video, drop a comment. I would really appreciate that. Support me by dropping a comment, you guys. Don't watch and just keep quiet. Okay, what I have here, the measurements I have here, I would like to replace them here. If you have a tracing wheel, you can just use it to trace out the lines you have in that side, on this side as well. But I can't find mine. I don't even know where it is right now. So I'm just going to quickly draft out this side. I am just extending the line to this side. And then the nipple to nipple measurement as well, I'm going to extend it. So from the center of the pattern paper, I'm coming down by her nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Just like we did to the other side. Okay, create a straight line just like this, and then mark the busts, the dart. Okay, so remember it is 2 inches, so 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. You can decide to give the side going to the armhole a bigger inches, okay, like 1.2 inches, and then you use 0.75 on the side going to the center. You can decide to use the same thing, very optional, okay. I will even advise you use the same thing. So I'm going to extend the line and then come down by half inch like we did. It's just the same thing I did over there. I'm just showing you so that it will not be like I did magic. I'm going to come down by 4 inches on the armhole and then connect it to the bust span, the nipple to nipple measurements, just like this. And then I'll mark a dot of 1 inches. Okay, come down by 1 inches and connect it to blend with the other line, just like this. I am going to just place a pattern paper so I can extend this place. If you didn't do this, they are not going to match when you sew them. So you're going to the 1 inch the 1 inch that you took here, you're going to extend it here. Okay, so I'll extend this line just like this first, and then I'll mark the same 1 inch that I took. I'm going to extend it by that 1 inch and then blend it back to the chest line. Okay, blend it back just like this, taking note of the sewing allowance, and you blend it down. Okay, when you do this, they are going to align when you're stitching them together. I'll come in by 1 inch on this side. You can do more than that, and then I will connect it to the center just like this. Next, I'll come in by, you can decide to reduce the width of this side. You can decide to add, you can reduce it, depend on how you want the shoulder, how wide you want the shoulder, the side that has the shoulder to be. Okay, you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. For me, I am even going to add it because my client said she wants it a little bit bigger, so I'll even add it. So you can add it, you can reduce it. Any one you want to do, you just do it and blend it back to the dots line. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Watch me carefully. If you have any question, you drop it at the comment section. I'll try my best to answer your questions. I forgot to mark the bust dart on this side like we did to the other side. So 1.5 inch from the bust line, and then connect it to the bust point just like this. Okay, we are going to close the dart, but before we will be able to close it, we will have to open the waist dart. Okay, so I'm going to slash this side as well. Don't cut it all the way, don't let it pass the bust point line, please. Okay, you don't want to cut that side all the way. Cutting this dart, cut off the dart, and I'm going to close the bust dart of this side. I'm just going to close it just like this. As you can see, just bring it like this and close it. Please don't cut it all the way. Close it just like this and tape it down. If this place is not matching, you can just blend it. You put another piece of paper and then blend it. Or cut off the dart here. Cut off the dart on this side as well. Cut off this dart. Remove this waist dart 2. Now close the bust dart as well. This bust dart is very important. Please don't skip it. So this is what we have. As you can see, this place align. After extending that line, they align now. If I didn't extend it, they won't align like this. So make sure you do it. Next, I'm going to fold my paper again to cut out the back piece. The back is very simple, so I'm going to rush it. From the shoulder to the bust point, which is 10 inches, and then the waist, which is 16.5. But I'm going to deduct 1.5 inches. Remember, we took 1.5 inches for our bust dart. I'm going to minus that. So instead of 16.5 inches for the waist, I'm going to be using 15 inches. So make sure you minus what you took from your bust dart. From the waist, I'm going to come down by 5 inches, which is the length of the corset. And then I'm going to mark the hip measurement, which is 9 inches from the waist. I'll do the same thing here. 10 inches, bust point, waist, 15 inches, and then the hip measurement, which is 9 inches from the waist line. I'm going to create a straight line just like this. I'll mark the neck width and the neck depth. Neck width is 3 inches. Her shoulder measurement 14 divided by 2, which is 7 inches. Come down by 1 inch for shoulder slants. Connect it to the neck width. For the armhole depth, I'm going to use 7 inches from the shoulder slant. Make sure you're marking it from the shoulder slant, okay? 7 inches, that's the same measurement I use on the arm, on the shoulder. I'll connect it straight, just like this. And then extend this line, which is now our chest line. On the chest line, at this point, I'm going to divide what I have here by 2. And on the chest line, I'll mark our bust measurement, divide by 4. Round bust measurement. And I'll connect these points together. I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance. At the waistline, I'm going to divide her waist measurement divide by 4 and I minus 0.2 inches from that. Okay, the same thing I did to the front piece, and I'll add my sewing allowance of 1 inch. At the hip line, I'm going to mark her hip measurements divide by 4. Add 1 inch sewing allowance. You can do more than 1 inch sewing allowance, especially if you're a beginner, just in case you miss something. Okay, so I'll connect the hip to the waist and the waist to the chest line. Neck width for the back 1.5 inch is just for guide, we are not using it. We are not using any dart for the back piece. You can decide to add a waist dart, maybe half inch on both sides, and then make sure you replace it like we did to the front piece. So this is what we have when you open it. So using the front center piece, I'm going to place it right side facing right side. The same thing we do when we are going to stitch the two piece together, right side facing right side. So this side is going to be the side with the shoulder. So on the side of the shoulder, I'll go in by 1 inch like I did to the front, and then I'm going to place my tape 10 inches on the bust line, 10 inches. So upward, I'm going to mark 6 inches. That is going to be their meeting point. From that 6 inches, I'm just going to blend it to the armhole just like this. And then from there, I'll connect it to the 1 inch I just like to go in a little bit, which is optional, and then connect it to the 1 inch from the other side. Just try and blend this place so that it's not too sharp. I'll cut it out. So at the center, I'm going to cut it open. You can use zipper, you can use eyelet, you can use loops, whatsoever, however you want it to be. So you can add zipper allowance. If you're using zipper, you add zipper allowance. Okay, if you're not using zipper, if you're using eyelet like me, you remove your eyelet space. I initially marked 1.5 inch, but I'm going to mark 2 inches on the upper part. That's the eyelet space on the upper part, and on the down part I'm going to mark 1/2 inch. I want it to have this slant effect. Okay, so 2 inches at the upper part, I'm going to connect it to 1/2 inches at the down part, and then I'll connect the 2 inches to the shoulder, just like this. I'll do the same thing on this side, 2 inches at the upper part and then 1/2 inch at the down part, and I'll connect it like this. It's going to give it the slant effect. You can decide to use 2 inches on both the upper part and the down part. It's optional. I'll go ahead and cut it out. Please help me like this video. Support me by liking the video. God bless you for that. If you can drop a comment, I will really appreciate. Okay, you guys, support me. Don't just watch and go, please. There won't be a sewing tutorial for this dress. I'm very sorry. I need to rush it. Tutorial is going to delay it for me. So I've started cutting it already. I said, let me just show you the fabrics. This is a Mikado fabric, and this is the Ashobi fabric. I've cut some of it already. This tutorial is not for beginners because there's no sewing tutorials. You have to use the pattern and then cut it out and make it. You can register for our online beginners to intermediate class. With that knowledge, trust me, something like this is going to be a done deal. You're not going to struggle with a simple style like this. So I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.